It's no mystery that product placement is used heavily in the entertainment business. Everything from a famous soda brand to your favorite bag of chips. You'll see it more often than you may even realize. Here are 10 brands that really say thank you to the movies. Number 10. AOC. AOC is an electronics company from Taiwan, and it's building its way up thanks to a few movies. Back in 2015, The Martian featured over 20 minutes of screen time, which generated over $17 million in advertising value for the brand. This single movie was enough to make AOC the 14th biggest product placement brand that year. They also appeared in 2016 in Independence Day Resurgence and received well over $1 million of advertising value. AOC's monitors appeared in 8 films in 2018, including box office hits Black Panther and Rampage. But their biggest shot was in Venom. Its monitors had almost 13 minutes of screen time, and AOC got over $7 million of product placement advertising value. Not bad for a PC monitor. Number 9. Nike. Back to the Future begins in 1985 when Marty McFly is accidentally sent back to 1955 in a time machine built by eccentric scientist Emmett L. Brown, also known as Doc. But in the second movie, when Marty was sent to 2015, there he finds a Pepsi Perfect and special lace-free Nike shoes. Wasn't that cool? In March 2019, the American Eagle Soho store in New York put on sale the exclusive Nike Mag shoes by Marty McFly in Back to the Future. Of course, the price is prohibitive at $50 grand. There's been 89 exclusive pairs in favor of the Foundation Against Parkinson's by Marty himself, Michael J. Fox. In 2008, Nike made special limited edition Hyper Dunk sneakers, very similar to the movie. Only about 1,000 of those were made. In 2015, Nike was the 6th most visible brand in movies, with major appearances in Creed, Pitch Perfect 2, and Jurassic World, going down to 63rd in 2016, providing no more than $500,000 in value. In 2018, Nike came back to the 9th biggest brand, appearing in 37 of the 100 highest grossing movies of the year. 4 films generated over $1 million each: Creed 2, The Meg, Uncle Drew, and its biggest movie by far, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's gotta be the shoes! Number 8. Toyota. Toyota appeared in a staggering 55% of movies in 2018. This omnipresence is what kept Toyota in the top 30 brands in recent years. But in 2018, with almost 5 minutes of screen time in Black Panther, which was the second highest grossing movie worldwide of the year, Toyota finally cracks the top 10. Indeed, this appearance generated over half of all Toyota's yearly product placement value and was 2018's 3rd biggest single movie product placement. Number 7. BMW. The trajectory of this brand goes way back to 1989 in Lethal Weapon 2 during a hot pursuit of a gang with a red BMW M635C. The first BMW Bond car appeared in 1995 with Pierce Brosnan in GoldenEye in a BMW Z3, replacing the classic Aston Martins in the Bond series and reappearing in Tomorrow Never Dies in a BMW 750iL in 1997 and then back again in 1999 in The World Is Not Enough with the powerful BMW Z8. And we can't forget about our boy Jason Statham. His piloting of the BMW 7 Series in the Transporter from 2002 is unforgettable. He's also pretty good at kicking and punching, but damn! Fasten your seatbelts.
Seatbelts?
And we can't forget the Fast and the Furious 6 from 2013, where Luke Hobbs, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, chooses 5 2005 BMW M5s to hunt down an armed and dangerous mercenary organization. And in 2018, BMW appeared in 37 of the 100 highest grossing movies, like Red Sparrow, Ant-Man and the Wasp, The Equalizer, and Bumblebee. But in Mission Impossible Fallout, BMW boosted into the top 10 after being 21st in 2017. Furthermore, BMW in Mission Impossible Fallout was the #1 most successful product placement in 2018 movies. BMW got over 8 minutes of screen time, racking over $11 million. They associated the brand with action, speed, and agility, as well as with the star of the movie, Tom Cruise. from 007 to Ethan Hunt. What a ride! Number 6. Reese's Pieces in E.T. Reese's Pieces is a dinosaur of a product placement. This is a true classic of successful product placement and part of many marketing books and articles. This case became famous because there were two brands involved, the big M&Ms and a relatively unknown Reese's Pieces. E.T. was a huge blockbuster, and Reese's Pieces saw a reported 65% jump in profits just 2 weeks after the movie's premiere. Steven Spielberg had initially made contact with the brand leader of Mars, asking permission to use M&Ms, but Mars, well, they declined the offer. Guess they thought it wasn't worthwhile. Spielberg then decided to film the scene with Reese's Pieces, which is made by the competitor, Hershey. Reese's Pieces participated in the film's launch campaign, investing $1 million, and in return, it was allowed to use the film in its advertising campaigns. Number 5. Ray-Ban and Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise first wore Ray-Ban's model Wayfarer in 1983 in the comedy Risky Business, and then Aviators in Top Gun in 1986. The Wayfarer model has been around since 1952 and was pretty popular in the 50s and 60s, but then somehow faded from the limelight. At that time, their annual sales were only around 18,000. But in 1982, Ray-Ban signed a $50,000 a year deal with unique product placement of Burbank, California, to place Ray-Bans in movies and television shows. Tom Cruise wore the model in Risky Business, and they also got used on the cover of the movie. This product placement contributed to fantastic sales of 360,000 pairs of Wayfarers in 1983. And by 1986, sales had reached 1.5 million. But the history of aviator sunglasses doesn't begin and end with Tom Cruise. The popularity and cultural meaning of the aviator is actually closely tied to public perceptions of the American military. Tom Cruise is far from the only celebrity to don a pair of Ray-Bans, but if you understand what Top Gun meant to aviator sunglasses, you can start to understand the place Ray-Bans hold in American culture. When Top Gun opened in 1986, sales of aviators increased by 40%. But the sustained growth that the line enjoyed is what's most impressive. Aviators maintained double-digit growth in successive years and becoming the perennial fashion staple even up to this day. For Top Gun, the military received a substantial return on investment. An LA Times article from 1986 estimated that 90% of naval aviation applicants following Top Gun had seen the movie. There were even recruiting stations being set up outside of the movie theaters. The armed forces saw a combined 20,000-person boost in enlistment in the year after Top Gun was released, 16,000 of which were Navy. Way to go, Uncle Sam! Number 4. Sony. Sony dropped out of the top 10 in 2016 before returning at number 6 in 2017 and re-entering the top 5 in 2018. One potential cause for this fluctuation was the discontinuation of Sony's computer division in 2014. Given that these products made up roughly a third of all Sony's product placement in 2014 and 2015, it had to fill this gap as it phased out its computers. In 2018, TVs were Sony's main product, accounting for 44% of its total product placement, aside from mobile phones, headphones, camcorders, and tablets. In 2018, Sony appeared in 28 movies, of which 8 generated over $1 million in product placement advertising value, with Venom being their biggest movie placement for the year. From a historical point of view, Sony's integration in Venom was of similar value as in The Amazing Spider-Man from 2012 and Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle in 2017. Number 3. Cadillac. Despite its very visible appearance in the Green Book from 2018, Cadillac returns to this top 10 list for the first time since 2014. It is, however, noteworthy that Cadillac is among an elite list of brands that have been among the top 100 brands in films. In 2019, Cadillac was featured in 32 movies, including It, Chapter 2, Little, and Zombieland 2 Double Tap. Its most valuable appearance with more exposure was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Brad Pitt drove a 1966 Coupe de Ville for much of the movie, and other models can be seen at various points. This was worth millions of dollars for the GM brand and accounted for 49% of its total 2019 exposure in film mention. All right, drive with style. Number 2. DITA. DITA appeared in just 2 movies in 2019, however, These movies grossed nearly $4 billion at the global box office between them. The eyewear brand had less than a minute in Avengers Endgame, but got significantly more screen time in Spider-Man Far From Home, and hence, more advertising value. Spider-Man Far From Home was worth $8.3 million and was the fourth most successful product placement of 2019. DITA had previously appeared in Avengers Infinity War, X-Men Days of Future Past, Ocean's 8, and The Hangover. Fashion and more fashion. That's the rule, baby. Number 1. Wilson in Castaway. When the main character Chuck, played by Tom Hanks, crashed on an island, he was there alone. But somehow he got company. From the unlikeliest source. When he opened boxes from the plane, he found Wilson. There are classic types of product placement. A product or brand that can be visible, one that's used, or apparently one that can be volleyballed. That ball eventually became Wilson, Chuck's only company on the island. This brand placement is very interesting and special for one particular reason. Product was not just visible and used, and Chuck didn't just speak about it. The product became a character. It listened and provided company to Chuck. And as a result, Wilson Sporting Goods Company created a promotional ball complete with the facial markings as seen in the film. Interestingly, you can still buy the Wilson Castaway volleyball from Amazon or Target. And to make it more interesting, Wilson didn't pay for product placement, and even if it had happened coincidentally, it was perfect. In my opinion, it's like the best brand placement ever. Hanks and Wilson's relationship was genuine, and as a viewer, you perceived Wilson as a character, not some branded product. From a brand's point of view, that's even better than highly visible placement or heavy usage. And in the case of Wilson, it was for free. That's all for this video. Make sure you subscribe to Patrol Clip to receive more like this. And until next time.